It's Week 8 of the National Football League. And up next, we'll see Jalen Hurts. He's going to have to air it out plenty this week. It's the Eagles and the Bengals, and it's coming up next on EA Sports.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at what's now known as Paycor Stadium here in Cincinnati. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gunn. To my left, Charles Davis. And Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they've got all W's on the ledger so far, a perfect 6-0. Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports.
And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. The Bengals make their way out on offense for the first time, led by their fifth-year quarterback out of LSU, Joe Burrow. And he's certainly putting together an MVP-type season, leading the league in both passing yards and touchdown passes. There have not been too many defenses that have been able to stop him or even slow him down. So he's got his sights set on another big game right here.
Let's get set.
Quickly to the air is Burrow. Now a short one to Gesicki. Broke a tackle, but not much room there. Just up past the 25, no further. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. And despite injuries like these, Charles, with these guys missing, they've been able to keep that pursuit of perfection alive so far.
Here we go.
That just shows the depth that they have on the roster and the guys who are serious about being ready when their number is called. Someone goes down, someone jumps in, and they don't skip a beat. I think this team has a bunch of those guys, and some of them will be called on again this week.
You look at this Eagle defense. Now, they're going to be tough to throw on, no doubt. Currently ranked 3rd in the NFL against the pass.
Yeah, this has been a good defense, but they're going to have to really prove it in this one because, guess what? They're facing the #1 passing offense in the NFL. It's definitely a prove-it day for them.
And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. That's the #2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be #2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be #1.
The numbers on Moss from last week's game. 14 carries, 57 yards.
Just an all-right day from him last week. He really didn't break out for the huge yardage he had hoped going in. I talked with him before the game, though, and he knows this is a new, fresh opportunity. He's put last week behind him, and his focus, getting some extra yardage with every carry he receives this week.
And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. Now, this defense for the Eagles, they were very strong in the win last week over the Giants.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball, or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
That's good for a first down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the...
There he goes, right side. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Jamar Chase with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bengals get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. They said that they wanted to get him involved early, and what a way to cap their opening drive, Charles. We know he's one of the fastest receivers in the NFL, and he showcased it on that play.
And when you have a guy like that, you want to make sure the defense sees him early, right? You want to see how they're going to adjust, how they're going to try and guard him, because they can't replicate his speed in practice unless they've got one of the few guys who are as fast as he is. And all it took was 1 drive, he burned them, and I don't think it's the last time they called his number in this one.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Out come the Eagles for the first time, and the man in charge at quarterback in his 5th year now, Jalen Hurts.
He's coming off a season where he certainly experienced his fair share of ups and downs. On the positive side, he threw for career highs in passing yards and touchdowns. On the negative side, he threw the most interceptions in his career, and his team struggled and collapsed down the stretch. If he can get back to playing mistake-free football without sacrificing his aggressiveness, this team can get back to competing for a Super Bowl berth.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave them with a second and just a few inches left. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
They'll run for the first time with Saquon Barkley. He finds some way to turn this into positive yardage as he struggles forward for a pickup of about 2. This a 2nd and 8. But Charles, something we talked about last week, when you start believing whether you're in the midst of a special season or not. Well, now they're at 6-0. Are you still trying to tamp down the expectations in that locker room?
Well, to me, it's less about tamping down expectations and much more about not getting ahead of yourself as a team. And look, they've got to play each game individually, right? Many teams talk about being 1-0 at the end of each and every game each week. To me, you've got to understand you cannot win the Super Bowl in October.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Throwing is Hurts. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chain.
And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own.
And there's an offense that didn't panic after getting down early, and with good reason. No better way to silence a home crowd than with a nice, long, sustained drive. And they were able to put one together here and finish with the touchdown run.
Elliott good with a PAT, and we are tied at 7. That time a 6-play drive. And it ends with a Saquon Barkley touchdown run. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And they are over 500 for the season, 4-3. They got back above 500 with a victory last week. And, Charles, you think this is a very important week for them, do you not?
I certainly do, because when you start to do the math, and yes, I'm using my fingers to count. If you're 4-4 at the midway point, let's say you're saying 10 wins is your cutoff line for a playoff berth. It's usually right around that number. A loss here, all of a sudden you've got to go 6-2 down the stretch just to reach 10 wins. That means this game is vital.
Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here, as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming.
Gun. 180.
Moss on the give up the middle. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
They'll try and run for this with Moss. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
11, Thomas.
Burrow will throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. From just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd and a yard. Burrow on play action. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Here we go. Here we go. What is that?
Burrow looking to pass. And he's got his big wide receiver complete. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
On 1, ready? Here we go, here we go. God!
Again, it's Burrow. Over the middle, that's caught by Chase. His 2nd catch, and this one not nearly as electrifying as his first. And it'll bring up 3rd down now. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
11 MT, 11 MT. 11 MT, take. 11 MT, take.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. And he's got it. Touchdown! Trenton Irwin, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Bengals have taken the lead. And he continues to be a focal point of this offense. That's now 10 touchdown catches for him on the year. McPherson now for the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. That time, a 9-play drive. And it ends with a Bengals score. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their 2nd drive. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Solid way to start the drive, 13 yards, picking up the first. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter, 14-7. Here's Hurts to throw. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
Hurts sets up to throw it. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Good work after the catch, going to net him 23 and a first.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Hurts. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Back to throw again. He finds him again, Saquon Barkley. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. Sets him up nicely, first and goal. It was a pickup of 14.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Saquon Barkley with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Eagles are an extra point away from evening this one up. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the second time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack. And you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line. And he's able to take it into the end zone.
And oh, he missed it. No good. And they'll remain down by a point. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. The Bengals offense and Joe Burrow getting set for this next drive. And he's putting together a very strong first half of the season, currently the NFL's leader in touchdown passes. The Bengals drive about to get going. And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Gun.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Here we go.
Here's Burrow. Open man is Higgins. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 38-yard line. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
To the air again, Burrow. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
Here we go.
Now it's Burrow. Dancing to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
Here we go. 11.
Third down, here's a run by Moss. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback.
Well, the Eagles going to get one final possession in this first half.
And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up second. So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. More from you and Charles in a bit. But first, time for a look around the NFL to see what's going on here in the late window. We'll begin just outside Washington at Commanders Field in Landover, where you see the final score there. Jaden Daniels leading the way there as the win gets his guys back to 500 on the year. From there, we're off to check out another game. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. Josh Allen has a touchdown pass. Finally, let's get over to Inglewood, see what's happening with the Chargers at home at SoFi Stadium. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. Lad McConkey, a touchdown reception. We saw a strong first half out of the quarterback, Joe Burrow. His 2 touchdown passes helped pave the way for his guys to take this lead into the intermission. This one's been all you could hope for as an NFL fan. Just a 1-point game here at halftime. This has been as much fun as you could hope for with both these teams in it to win it. These two teams making their final adjustments for the second half. And to bring it your way, we go back up to Cincinnati and Brandon Gott.
Oh, a good return up past the 30. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter.
Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together, come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
So from the 37, here's a 2nd and 8.
They'll drop to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. A big play there for Philly. And even 40 yards.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Getting out a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter.
Running again with Barkley on 2nd down.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL, and all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
And the Eagles are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as good running gets them down to about the 4-yard line. 45 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. Barkley will get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Now a toss right to Barkley. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
And now 3rd and goal coming up. The loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder. And they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
So backed up to the 6 now. 3rd and goal. Here's Barkley. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 4 yards, that gets him close to the goal line, but it also brings up a 4th and goal. The kick by Elliott is good, and they have regained the lead. Now, they don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. The Bengals offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he's an early front runner for MVP in the NFL here in the first half of the season. As you can see, he's a league leader in passing yards at this stage of the game.
On 1, ready?
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
And they find themselves down on the scoreboard following the field goal a moment ago.
And I think even though they trail in the game now, I would consider that a win for their defense, and that's probably what they're telling the offense when they get to the bench. Hey, the onus is on you guys now. Get back out there and get us the lead back.
Here we go.
Now Burrow. Open man is Chase, complete.
And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Now it's Burrow. And he is going to lose yardage here. So they'll wind up losing 7 on the play. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. It's been a good one so far, just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. The offense on 3rd down, they've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. He finds his man, complete. That's Moss. And he'll go out of bounds, it appears, right at the 45. The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their own 14-yard line.
He'll drop it off with Saquon Barkley.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Barkley inside handoff. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. Again, it's Barkley. And this is going to be an Eagles first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
They'll try and run some clock here with Barkley. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
From the 42-yard line, here's the 2nd and 8. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Target is to Dotson, and he's got him. The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. They're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Two minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the fourth quarter. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. Up the middle with Barkley. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. 5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. They'll try the right side here. Barkley. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 3rd down, Barkley. And that should do it. He's got a 1st down. And the Eagles, they can run it out from here. They'll go to Barkley again. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 10 yards is the pickup there, and that should just about put a bow on this one.
This defense needs a big play in the worst way because so far, they're not putting up much of a fight. If they don't get a stop here soon, this game could be over for them.
They'll go ahead and take the knee here, and the unbeaten season will continue. Well, that second half, Charles, a little bit different from the first. Not only did we have the lead change after intermission, but they were able to pitch the shutout in the second half and get an impressive victory.
And what's the old expression? That's not quite how I saw it playing out in my head. You know they didn't expect this at all. As you mentioned, went into the half with the lead. Losing the game is one thing. Getting shut out in the second half, that's a surprise.
So for the Eagles, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.